Hey there. So let's talk about debt. If you're wrestling with high interest credit cards, you know that feeling of just being stuck? But here's the thing, breaking free usually boils down to one big choice: picking the right tool for the job. Today, we're going to compare two of the most popular options out there: a balance transfer card and a personal loan. The goal? To help you find your path out. First off, let's just be real for a second. Being stuck in a debt cycle is incredibly stressful, isn't it? You make your payments every single month, but that balance just doesn't seem to move because of those crazy high interest rates. It's a feeling a lot of people know. But standing still, doing nothing, well, that's one of the most expensive decisions you can make. I mean, really? Does that monthly credit card statement feel like a punch to the gut? You are definitely not alone in this. But let's actually put a number on how much that feeling and that inaction is really costing you. Okay, check this out. According to an analysis from LendingTree, if you have a $5,000 balance on a credit card and you only ever make the minimum payments, you could wind up paying almost $9,000 in interest. Just interest. That is nearly double what you originally owed. So yeah, we need a better plan. But hey, the good news is you've got options. We're going to zoom in on two of the most powerful tools you have for escaping high-interest debt: balance transfer credit cards and personal loans. They work in different ways, but either one could save you a ton of money. So first up is the balance transfer card. The whole idea here is pretty simple, actually. You move your debt from that high-interest card over to a brand new one that charges you 0% interest for a while, usually for about 15 to 21 months. It's like hitting the pause button on interest so you can finally attack the actual debt. And then there's option number two, a personal loan. With this, a lender gives you a single lump sum of cash. You use that cash to wipe out all your other debts: credit cards, medical bills, whatever. And now you're just left with one single predictable monthly payment at a fixed interest rate. It's all about simplicity and a clear finish line. Okay, so which one is it? A balance transfer card or a personal loan? You know, there's really no one-size-fits-all answer here. But to figure out the right path for you, you just need to ask yourself four really important questions. Let's walk through them together. First things first, what kind of debt are we actually talking about here? This is a huge factor because these two tools are really designed for different jobs. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. Balance transfer cards are specialists. They are laser-focused on one thing: high-interest credit card debt. That's it. A personal loan, on the other hand, is more of a generalist. You can use it to bundle up all kinds of different unsecured debts, think medical bills or those super high-interest payday loans, and knock them all out at once. All right, question number two is all about the scale of the problem. Are we talking about a mountain of debt that's going to take years to pay off, or is it more like a smaller hill you could conquer pretty quickly? So this is how it breaks down. A balance transfer card is really ideal for smaller debts, the kind you're pretty confident you can wipe out within that 0% intro period, 15 to 21 months. But for the really big stuff, maybe over $50,000, a personal loan gives you a much longer runway. We're talking 1 to 7 years to pay it all back in much more manageable pieces. And that brings us to a super practical question. What can you actually get approved for? Your credit score is pretty much the gatekeeper here, and the requirements for these two products are definitely not the same. Yeah, think of it this way. The very best 0% balance transfer cards are kind of like a VIP club. They're usually reserved for people with good to excellent credit, so a score of 670 or higher. Personal loans, though, they tend to be a lot more accessible to a wider range of people, even if your credit isn't perfect. And finally, the question we've all been waiting for: what's this actually going to cost you? Because let's be clear, neither of these tools is totally free. You got to compare the fees and the interest to figure out which one is going to save you the most cash in the long run. This table really shows the trade-off. With a balance transfer card, you're going to pay an upfront fee, usually 3 to 5% of whatever you're moving, but in exchange, you get that glorious 0% interest period. With a personal loan, some might have an origination fee, and you will be paying a fixed interest rate from day one. But that rate could still be way, way lower than what your credit cards are charging you right now. Okay, so now that you know your options, we need to have a serious talk about the potential pitfalls. Because if you're not careful, these tools that are supposed to help you can actually turn into costly traps that leave you worse off than before. I absolutely love this quote from The Motley Fool because it just cuts right to the chase. These products are tools. They are not magic wands. Simply moving your debt from one place to another doesn't do a thing to address the spending habits that got you there. Without changing your behavior, you're really just kicking the can down the road. And this is the fine print you have to watch out for. First, that balance transfer fee we talked about, it gets tagged right onto your debt from the start. Second, if you make just one late payment, boom, your 0% rate can disappear and you get slammed with a massive penalty APR. Also, watch out for something called deferred interest. That's a nasty surprise where they charge you all the back interest if you don't pay off the full balance in time. And finally, don't miss the transfer window. You usually only have about 60 days to move the balance or the whole deal is off. So, after going through all of this, what's the real secret to getting out of debt? Honestly, it's not about picking the perfect card or the perfect loan. It's about what you do next. The product is just a temporary tool. The plan you make is what's going to create real, lasting change. So here it is, your game plan. It's so simple, but it's everything. Step 1, be brutally honest with yourself about the spending that caused the debt. Step 2, create a realistic budget that you can actually live with. And step 3, make a concrete payoff plan. Just take your total debt, divide it by the number of months you have in that 0% period, and that number, that's your new non-negotiable monthly payment. So, there you have it. We've laid out the tools, the strategy, and the traps you need to avoid. You have all the info you need to take back control and start your journey to being debt-free. So now the only question left, and it's the most important one, is this. What's your plan going to be?